Okay, it's late, but I'm going to record just a little bit. There is the thing with the comeback of my cousin recently. It seems that for some reason she decided to post something else over latest video. And there is René Franklin that decided to make another episode of Soap Bible, and we're going to go through it. When I saw René Franklin attack Bernadette, I wanted to block him from my YouTube channel, but Jesus made it clear to me, okay, that I should not do it. So I don't like a lot of people. I don't like, but I have to endure some of this because Jesus got his plan, and the things that I would like to do, well, maybe not going according to his plan. So when I wanted to block René Franklin because he started to attack Bernadette, then Jesus made it clear to me that I must endure this. Bernadette, by the way, how she responded back to René Franklin is, I'm sorry you don't believe Jonathan is prophet Elijah. I was led by the Holy Spirit to his channel to help expose the false prophets, and I did. I have a sweet tooth for Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and the Word of God. Sorry you assumed falsely about me. Ask the Holy Spirit to lead and guide you to all truth. Elijah is the prophet of the Most High God, and he has served Jesus on YouTube for 14 years. Then René Franklin answered back, no line ain't Elijah from the Bible, and you are a wicked thing trying to push that shit on people. I will not pray for you and sacrifice my energy to you all, God Satan. But already, René, you are contradicting yourself because you say you don't want to sacrifice your energy, but you took the time to put together a series of episodes, and I'm just going to show you that your arguments are not standing with the possibility of it all to be true. Because, René Franklin is coming at me all the time with the thing with gay pride. But I'm not gay. I have my friend Samuel, and that's it. We're not gay. And also it's an insult toward my cousin every single time that they say that. And after that, René Franklin, he said, well, maybe you're bisexual. Well, I'm not bisexual neither. So that's the first thing that they come again. Over and over every day, they put that thing about homosexual. Well, it doesn't hold because, why I would keep going with, trying to get the attention of my cousin, who is a woman, if I want to go after a man. Doesn't work. Then the second thing is that they're talking about incestuous. But this also doesn't add up with trying to say, well, he's not a prophet, he's not Elijah, because in the Bible, Genesis 28 and 29, I made a search, and it's clearly his cousin. And he was sent by the father to his cousin for marriage, and it resulted with the 12 tribe of Israel, and from one of those 12 tribes, Jesus. So according to the Bible, it's not because I'm looking for my cousin that it got to be false. Not saying that it's for everybody to go after their cousin, but my friend Samuel, his own dad is with his cousin. I don't know if they are married, but I know that they do have intercourse. My friend Samuel, his dad, had a wife. And by the way, Samuel and his two brothers are not born from a relationship with his dad and his, the cousin of his dad. Because he had another wife before, but then after that he left his wife and then he went for his cousin. But giving you a lot of details here, but just to tell you, for the people that are going to start to say, well, okay, no wonder Samuel, your friend, he must be a cook because a result of a cousin relationship. No, it's not even the case. Right now, his dad of my friend Samuel is from a long time going out and having intercourse with his cousin. But my friend is something like 28 years old now. And when he was born, and his two brothers, it was with from the result of his dad with his wife, but that was not his cousin. But now he's with his cousin. Whatever. Okay, I'm giving you some details. So when I asked the question about, well, is Jacob the cousin of Rachel in the Bible? And by the way, Rachel didn't love back Jacob, even though Jacob was commanded by the father to do this. So it still cannot work out, even though it's not very convenient. So, trying to find back my story, the question, okay. Jacob, Rachel father was Laban, her older sister was Leah, Jacob's first wife, her aunt Rebecca was Jacob's mother. Okay, you've got it like that. And you've got the question, you've got to look at things the way intended from the father. The reason he gave was about do not take a wife from the Canaanite. And that is the reason given in the scriptures why Jacob was sent to marry his own cousin. This is right in the face of everybody from the Bible. It's not my story making at all. If you're looking, voyons, Genesis 28-29, but basically, okay, you've got it in French. Rachel, which means brebis. Okay, the lost sheep, like. Rachel, the lost sheep. You leave the 99 others to go get back the lost sheep. That would be Rachel, the cousin of Jacob. It's kind of interesting. Et un personnage de la Genèse, le premier livre de la Bible, elle est la cousine et la seconde femme de Jacob. Okay, so when... and it's interesting too because I was with another woman when I was in my 20s, and then we left each other, and then from then there was what's happened with my cousin, but we had not any physical, there's nothing physical that took place, except maybe I touched her a little when she asked me for the massage, and it was coming from her. She asked me for the massage. What would have happened if I would have went all the way through, because she would not have prevented it. But she's not making a word about it. And that's why she's still listening to every of my words, because she wonders what I'm going to reveal. Because she might even not know what... I mean, she said that she was knocked out. She didn't look knocked out to me when she asked me for the massage. So you got it in French here, but in English... In English, I had it earlier in English. She was the second daughter of Laban, Rebecca's brother, making Jacob her first cousin. Okay, that's what I got. Okay, she was the second daughter of Laban. Laban was the father, the dad of Rachel. Rebecca's brother, making Jacob her first cousin. Jacob had traveled a great distance to find Laban. And how it happened... And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, you shall not take a wife of the daughter of Canaan. So there's the reason for it. You know the other seed? There are two seeds. Do not take a wife of the daughter of Canaan. And this covenant was broken in Genesis 38 with the story with the twins, which is part of the story right now, because that was in the epicenter of the story from Jonathan Clegg from a while back. It's really the Bible, okay, manifesting to be true, and there's an explanation to prove that it's really the case. You know that what we read in the Bible is what we see taking place today. There's too many things, okay, coinciding. My cousin does not love me back, she made it relevant, but so it was in the story of Genesis. It was the same thing. It's proving furthermore even that it's really the truth. She does not love me, she said, and in the Bible, Jacob, when he was told by the Father in heaven to go and get his cousin, she didn't love him. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, you shall not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. So it was not the Father from heaven, it was Isaac, his dad of Jacob, that told him, but he had received it himself from the Father in heaven, and it was later confirmed again to Jacob by the Father of heaven. Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, the mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, the mother's brother. And God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessing of Abraham. So it's all good, looking like blessing, not curse. It was not for a curse, it was the blessing that goes with it. You know, me going after my cousin, it says that it will be a blessing. But she doesn't seem very confident in it, because she just looking at me, accusing her day and night, but for the purpose of true peace. You don't get true peace before waging war. When I was visiting her in the first weeks at Snaï, I was submissive to her. I was thinking to myself, I will never quarrel with her. It's impossible. I did not know in advance it would get to this point. She would not believe in a million years that I would still be after her 10 years later. It never happened with any of the other men. And maybe I've been saying a couple things that are very true, and she knows it, and she's not talking about it, and I should not be able to know about it, and that's why she's still curious. But she's saying that I have a personality issue that nothing can cure. Well, if it's the truth, then of course there's nothing that can cure it. And whenever they come against it, it's not the proper argumentation, because when they go with the ancestral aspect of it, in the Bible, you know, Jesus from the 12 tribes because of Jacob with his cousin. So that's not an argument to say it's impossible. It is possible. So there's blessing. And make thee fruitful. And multiply thee. Well, it seems to having to do with children there. That thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee and to thy seed with thee. That thou may, talking really about the seed, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God gave unto Abraham. And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padan Aram unto Laban, son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau's mother. When Esau saw the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking that the reason why she is with Simon Larouche really is because for her to have a roof, over her head, while I don't have myself a place to live with a bigger bed, maybe. Because she didn't really report about the true situation concerning Simon Larouche. Because I don't want to guess too much, but maybe it's more like Kolok. I know it's possible. She doesn't want to say out loud the real situation. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and was gone to Padan Aram. And Esau saying that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father. So you see, okay, then it's talking about Esau wanted to do the same as Jacob, but it was not for him to do because, the command was over Jacob, not Esau. Esau wanting to do the same as Jacob did was wrong because Esau was not even of the same seed. And the purpose of Jacob to go to his cousin was to preserve the seed, and Esau was already from the other seed, so it was not for him. But, to my cousin, that would be Babel. So I'm just going to skip that. and go to Genesis 29 when Jacob he goes to meet with his cousin. There's a sign, it's confirmation, but she does not love him the same way as today. Then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people to the east. When I talked about more than one life, maybe that was one. Maybe this life is the second one. So it doesn't seem to work out. Didn't seem to work out when they were together then. Doesn't seem to work out in this life. Maybe it's going to work out in the next. I'm not patient. But I have no choice but to endure, to survive. Just as much as she is surviving. And to survive, she had to go with Simon Laroche. Surviving with the wine and how she said, dine and wine. Survival of the fittest with rich men and wine and dine and wine. She said she needed to survive. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field, and lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it, for out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled a stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in its place. Then you can think about the story when Jacob was talking with the woman at the well, and the woman at the well was talking about how is Jacob making that well, and was asking Jesus, are you greater than Jacob who made the well, and all of that. But then Jesus he said to her, you had known five men, and none of them is your husband. All this story, okay, it's very relevant to the situation with her. And thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone again upon the well's mouth in its place. The thing about shut your mouth type of thing. I don't want to hear of that waters from heaven, the bread from heaven, okay, shut your mouth type of thing, because she's telling me to shut my mouth, and she's telling herself to shut her own mouth, and she's telling that I'm telling her to shut her mouth. What are you doing? Am I gather on me? Shut up, rebellious woman. But she is the one saying that she was telling to herself to shut her mouth. So you get the idea here. And Jacob said unto them, my brethren, whence be ye? And they said, of Haran are we. And he said unto them, know ye Laban the son of Nahor? And they said, we know him. And he said unto them, he is well. And he said, he is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep. And it says that Rachel means a sheep. Rachel is a lovely feminine name meaning ewe or female sheep. So that's even more relevant. It means the thing about the lost sheep. Let go the 99 sheep that can handle themselves and go for the lost sheep type of thing. And that would be her. Yeah, it's just right now that I discover about this thing. So Rachel means sheep. Okay, the lost sheep, leave the 99 others to get to the lost sheep, so none is lost. I really believe this might be possible, that it's all true after all. And she might think it's possible too. So it's get her even more frustrated. Because slowly but surely, she's beginning to consider the possibility that maybe she won't be able to escape this. And maybe other things that I said might come to pass a little later, but I told her, why would you wait for it, the bad part of my prophesying, before repenting? If you want to get rid of me, but after that you will say what? You will say, I thought you loved me. That's what is going on with you all the time. very much contradiction, okay? You say that you don't want to have anything to do with me, but then I said you would be jealous, and then you will throw at me something like, I thought you were loving me. I can see it coming. So, a change of situation is coming on both sides. So you continue to read, and then it's talking about, okay, confirmed it was the right thing to do, but then she didn't love Jacob because the right thing to do is always to obey the father, but then they say that I'm manipulative prick and that's narcissist. But you know, okay, what you cannot deny is that from the story that you read from the Bible, when you really do read it, you're going to find out that it really looks like the situation that's happening right now. So let's go through the Soap Bible episode 7 from Rodney Franklin. And I answered who is Rachel cousin in the Bible. She was the second daughter of Laban, Rebekah's brother, making Jacob her first cousin. And while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled a stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice, and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, then that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, Surely thou art my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, Because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me? For now tell me, what shall the wages be? So, Rodney McGee, Pride, okay, Franklin, okay, Rodney Franklin McGee, Pride, okay. He proving his ignorance. He might decide to not believe the Bible. But to say that it's impossible, the thing about Elijah, because of my cousin, that's wrong. It's proving his ignorance. Let's go for it. It's late. My parents are sleeping right on the other side of the wall, and they hear everything that's going to be heard, even in French. And they know it. Of course they know it. Everybody knows it. They don't know where to look. You know, they are in the wrong house. They don't know where to look. Keep watch, but they don't know even where to look.
What about that hard candy? You know them now and latest. Those Jolly Ranchers. Ah, yeah. And them lifesavers. Wait a minute. Don't forget about those Skittles.
Here he goes again. You know what's the funniest part in it? Is that when they put the gay flag over there with my friend Samuel, the spirit invisible, all those spirits that are around us, they know the truth. They know. So, I mean, they do it on purpose. The spirits that are following everybody, okay, in their lives and know about them. The people, okay, you have all good angels following, and you have also the demons following to everybody's life and knowing about what's happening in their life and the truth about what is pertaining to their life. And so they know, okay, they know I'm not homosexual, and my friend neither. And also I'm just going to take a chance here and I say that my friend Samuel and me, okay, we think that my cousin went a couple times already in the live stream over the TikTok, and every single time she might have been witnessing that there's not many men in the live stream. It's more, it's all women. So they know, okay, we're not gay. Stop insulting my cousin with this gay pride thing, okay? René Franklin is putting the gay pride all over the place day after day, but in his own name, René Franklin McGee Pride. McGay Pride?
I'm going to be reading Marianne's comment to Bernadette, and I'm talking about Marianne Como. Interesting last name. And she is the cousin of Jonathan Nolan, aka Hireling, aka Fake Elijah. And her comment to Bernadette says, "Thank you, Bernadette. The interpretation of the line with no eyes, painting representing pain and deception experienced by a person when they are betrayed and hurt by someone. Help her open her eyes. Pray for her. People can see the manifestations out of your imagination for sure." Why can't you just say, "Can you pray for me," instead of "pray for her"?
You want to have me talk and overshare. You want to have me talk and overshare.
You want me to to talk and overshare. But your latest message was contrary. Are you doing a MacGyver on me? Shut up, rebellious woman. So, do I want you to shut up or do I want you to speak? Here, you say that you think that I'm telling you to shut up. And here, you're telling me that you think that I want you to speak much. Which one is it?
You want to have me talk and overshare. And I'm fighting my best not to do that. I put my hand over my mouth to cover, yes, hesitation. In the first videos, the thought that crossed my mind when I put my finger over my mouth was a little voice in the back of my head saying, "Shut up, Marianne, shut up." Because that's all you want me to do. Go on and on and on. It's not me that wants this to go on forever. I told you already I wanted to get done with this as fast as I could. You keep coming up with more and more shit. What the fuck? It won't make it true. Your parents are crazy. Ask your mother if she remembers when I brought you the stuff over and you were not there and I made it on purpose that you would be absent. We concerted before I showed up, me and your mother. I came, I delivered her to her what I believed was yours. You had made a list and I tried to gather everything. I didn't check in the boxes, I didn't look. The camera was out of batteries. I didn't check if anything was recorded on it. I didn't recall using it and it was dusty and left.
Okay, the thing with that X tape perhaps seems that Rodney Franklin missed an episode of Soul Bible because the video, I showed it a couple times already on YouTube. It was not an X tape. It was what I call the party of confession. And it could have been other things that would have been recorded, but thank you, Jesus, because what was on the recording was the bare minimum, and it was exactly what would be useful for me to have, and nothing too unnecessary. So, by the way, there was another portion of recording, okay, a video that was recorded by again by the same Danny Lavoie, and it was all dark, but it looks like showing like the camera was inside a bag or sac à dos, okay, a backpack maybe. And I know that my camera, because it was my camera that he was using, I know that it can start the recording very easy because there was a button of recording standing out from the camera, and it could have been pushed by accident. And this is what happened. It's all Jesus that made it happen, that made this happen. That Danny Lavoie, when he said that he would use everything that I would bring to my cousin, well, it just got against him, because it went against him because he recorded himself. And he pushed the camera button record. So the camera had to be open, and he had to push the record button by accident while the camera was in a backpack, and only for the time when we can hear Danny Lavoie talking about another woman that he was cheating on my cousin with, and also naming her by name. It was Margot Huguette. But my cousin, if she's been watching my videos and she heard it and she saw the video because I posted them repetitively on my YouTube channel, and she saw those videos, how is it that she is unbelieving? How is it that she's not telling out loud that this is really beyond coincidence? How is it that I would bring my camera at her place And then Danny Lavoie would say that he would use everything that I bring to my cousin, and he would use. But then he recorded himself catching himself cheating on her. And then after that, she brought it back to me, the camera, at an hour, not even knowing what was on it. How is it that they will not acknowledge that this is not natural, okay? It's really, okay, on the supernatural, okay? It's not something that would happen by mere coincidence. Jesus put in place the things that should be enough to convince. So it's not just words alone. When Danny Lavoie recorded his own cheating over my cousin, it was not an X-tape, but we can hear him in the video, and you can tell that it was by accident that he hit the record, because it was in a backpack, so it seems. You see, like, it's dark, it's black, but there's like some type of fabric. You can see that it looks like it's in a backpack. And then it was recording only for the time when he would talk about Margot Huguette and saying that she going by the other door and my cousin doesn't know it, and while she's sleeping, and then the woman Margot Huguette saying back at Danny Lavoie, well, she what she will say, and then Danny Lavoie is trying to convince the other woman Margot Huguette that she will not be aware of it. And how is it that she's not saying it? The supernatural, the impossible, all the things that had to happen for it to be like this, okay, it's impossible. Okay, for her to bring me back the camera after there was the recording by accident from Danny Lavoie, only the part that would be necessary for to prove that God was looking at everything that they have done in secret, and also after that Danny Lavoie said that he would take what I bring to my cousin. There's way too much. Again, it's just one story of many of the other stories that are verifiable. There's some proof, evidence, okay, tangible. It's not just words alone, okay? The thing about, they think that it was just, how is it that when I had the chance to get her 3 times, I didn't? How is it that when I was ready for it, she didn't? She was not ready when I was. When she was ready, I was not. I mean, how is it that she put herself off like Jonathan Click with the off thing, and she's used the painting with missing the eye, and it's the true interpretation to this is because of the apple of his eye. Jesus is the lion of the tribe of Judah. Israel is the apple of his eye. The eye is missing because the apple of his eye is missing. Israel, she's the lost sheep. Rachel name means sheep. I went after my cousin. She's lost and going to leave the 99 others. They said there are 7 billion people in the world. Why I would go after my cousin? So do you start to think that it could be possible after all? Maybe it's true. Maybe Jesus is doing it like this. The list of false Christ and false prophet that I showed you from the other day, okay? Do they have any of the type of stories like this? They murdered, they took the money, they took many wives, they abuse of everybody, but they all say that I've been abused. They all say that my friend Samuel abused of me. My cousin saying that he stole my paycheck for 6 years of me helping him out because he's my friend. Think about it.
They're on the shelves, so I didn't care about it. I just brought everything I could back to you, to your mother. And we went over the computer room to look at her emails. I was going to send her the textos that I showed, where you said you wanted to rape me, but then God would prevent you.
He did. The fact is that he did prevent. He did. It's your proof. What do you want for a proof? You tell me directly. Jesus can make it happen. Just test it out. Ask directly what you want. You wanted a father for Thomas? You got it. You wanted me to shut up? You wanted to have a time for to break? You got it. You got everything you ask. Tell me what will make you say out loud that you really believe it. Because I know you believe, but you're just not telling out loud. There's no way, if you're really listening, that you can just toss aside every of the proof.
And I was over her shoulder. She was sitting at the desk there. It was a computer room, the room where you now sleep, that you claim I was there. No, we went downstairs to your room, and upstairs was the computer room. The computer room. Maybe you guys moved your room up and downstairs so many times you don't recall correctly where it is, where it was at that time.
So how is it that there are three of us that remember that the computer room was not in the same room that you saw, but you say that you remember it? Maybe it's you that is right about the remembering where's the computer room, but there's a computer room in here, this room, and there's a computer room in my parents' room right next there. So was it in this room? Was it in this room? There's a computer in each of the room, and we don't really care about is it upstairs or downstairs. It's not what's really important. What's important is why did you decide to enter and get in my bedroom? Either it would be upstairs or downstairs after you told me in the same day that you were convinced that I would rape you because your mother told you so. And I showed you that I didn't rape you. To prove to you and to prove to her. What do you want? What do you want? That I leave you alone? Are you sure? Because when you will need me, and there's not going to be anybody else. Are you sure? That's what you want.
I remember. I didn't go to your place more than those few times. That time.
That was already a lot of times. It's no longer a story of you held me by the hand to get to my psychiatric. A lot of things happen after all. But that was not what you wrote in the deposition when you tried to lock me up in prison.
Time you were absent, we were in the computer room, your room at the actual time now that you keep showing, and you say she was standing there, she was there. No, we were in the basement.
Okay then. Are you positive that you don't remember about when I went to the toilet upstairs, right next to this room, and I told you I closed the door, and then you said to me, laughing, you said it's not something that you would say to a woman that you close the door behind you. Do you remember about it? Or you really don't remember about it? And if you forgot about this, then maybe you messed up your memory about other things.
Thomas might be with his dad, and Simon loves his kids more than she does, so he'll keep them, and right, so we can fit in your single bed. You're demented, you're fucked up, and nobody's going to help you. Obviously. Tes parents font semblant de pas comprendre que tu vis une grande détresse puis que tu as besoin d'aide. C'est leur responsabilité en tant que bons parents de s'assurer qu'autour de toi, tu...
So I'm sorry for my parents trying to sleep on the other side of the wall. Doesn't seem like I'm respecting much anything or anybody, but it's important. It's really important. Okay, I don't want to push it because it's so late, but I just got an answer back while I was recording the video. I got an answer back from Rodney Franklin to the comment that I left him, and he's saying go to hell. That doesn't mean much, but hear this one. Funny coincidence, my wife's name is Rebecca and my son is named Jacob. I call him Jacob though. I don't know why you are telling me any of this no lie. Because you're part of the story too. When at the beginning Jesus let me know that you're not goat but you're sheep. So Bible episode 7, 2 hours ago. He does not understand why I'm telling him that. Well, I'm telling him that because he's calling it incestuous. And he's saying it's got to be wrong. For an coincidence, my son is named Jacob and I call him Jacob, though I don't know why you are telling me any of this, Noah. What I'm telling you is that there is a purpose. There is a purpose. Okay, it's my cousin. It's not convenient. It's not something that I'm telling everybody should do. But why is it that what appeared first as to be just phantasm and lust has become so much huge of a story that is going in one accord with the scriptures? How is it? How do you explain that?